Alright, welcome back. Yeah, just got myself a salad. So, let's get things set up. So, we're going to go and select the airliner. And let's go FENIX, and then we'll choose Vueling. Vueling. Caramba. And we're going to Malaga, Costa del Sol. Caramba. Let's go here. Flight plan is filed, and we're called Vueling. Vueling 711, obviously. So let's see who flies along today. Oh, shall we do the yeah, what Vueling? Yeah, it's weird how you get these different pronunciations, but Vueling, something like that, right? Yeah, I think so. So let's see, does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense at all. So there we go. That's better. Velling, okay. We will try. We will try. Mark, I have a freeware scenery. There's 2 parts you have to download with it. There's the airport file, and then also you need to download the terminal as well. Yeah, so 2 runway layout, kind of a V form. Usually you have approaches to runway 13, I think it is. Yeah, 13. Departing 12. But we'll see. We'll see what comes. So let's connect. Let's see who is here. And keeping fingers crossed, that should be too busy. So there shouldn't really be anyone at my position. There we go. Look. Oh! GG. Whoa! Look at that. What's happening here? Lots of aircraft. You arrived on 12 last time. No, weirdly enough, Mark, I have not found the retail version, no. So no payware whatsoever, which is kind of strange. Now the question is, shall we try GSX? Let's start Quattle. Let's see. Time. Shall we do real time? Yeah, let's do real time, shall we? And GSX. Request Jetway. There we go. Handling by handling by Ryanair. Lol. What on earth? Are you kidding me? So where's my FS2 crew FENIX? Is that the one? Yeah. That should be the one. Let's see if that works. Hang on. Just make sure that I don't have to log in again. That's good. Okay. Cool. Who just started the brake fans? It's my co-pilot here again already. Blimey. Right, so let's do flight planning, load, fly now, connect, and there's the overlay, fantastic, I like it. Cool. So probably I would expect runway 04 to be in use. I think the wind is a little bit from the southeast, but not strong enough to have runway 22 in use. So that's still the same. Heart mute is good. Voice control. That's all correct. Let's do what kind of let's see who's with us today. His name is Freddy. All right, Freddy, let's do this. So, not Kruger, no, not that I know of, no. That would be somewhat weird, wouldn't it? Let's go with the flight init here. Yeah, that would be really strange. So there we go, good database until the 17th of May. Init request. So let's do this. Yaroslav, you sent me an email. Let me check. Yeah, I was very busy this morning or this afternoon as well. Oh, there we go. So regarding the side stick and rudder pedals placement, is there a rule of thumb for the correct position of your hands?
I'm out for the walk around.
Oh, Roger. Is there a rule of thumb for the correct position of your hands and legs? Yeah. I mean, it depends on how you sit at your desk. So it's always a bit difficult when you talk about these things on your, PC or in front of your PC. So before I got this rig, I had some Monster Tech table mounts, which allowed the joystick to be placed a little bit lower, so below the table level, and that meant with the chair and the chair armrest, I have my arm or forearm resting on the armchair armrest, and then I could simply just have that level and just place the hand nicely onto that that joystick handle. So that's how, and you should have, I wouldn't say a 90-degree angle between your forearm and the rest of the arm, but it should be, I would say, 70-80 degrees of angle, so that way, yeah, nice and relaxed. Regarding the distance to the rudder pedals, well, if you have a brake function on the rudder pedals, you want to make sure that you are placing your feet in a manner where you can push down completely on the brake pedals. That's the important thing, really. Then you've got a question regarding the water base. From what I've seen, you have the base plate removed. It is mounted also from Monster Tech, some mounts. And I mean, what I can do once I have a bit of time, free time, I can do a video on my new rig and show you how things are mounted. But again, these are very specific mounts that I'm using. So prior to this rig, I had table mounts from Monster Tech. Now I've got a Monster Tech flight sim rig, and yeah, it's so these kind of connections are very specific and very kind of unique. Yeah, Yaroslav, pleasure, yeah. All good. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask. Sorry, I apologize sometimes for the late reply, but you just can't imagine how busy life gets sometimes. So, right, that's the routing today. We're coming via Barcelona and then via the southern coast of France. Okay, interesting arrival. Usually I don't really go this way, but hey, there we go. Do we have control here? Let me just check. Okay, yeah, hang on. I'll check that in a second. Give me a minute. I just want to go and look at that scope. Okay, so Malaga is definitely not under control right now, so that's all right. So we don't have to worry about it. That means I'm going to go and quickly load up everything here. Let's import that from SimBrief. And oh, 7 minutes, good God. So 160 at 7. So I would suggest departing from I would suggest departing, yeah, 1-3 for departure. 1-3 for departure, and we are going to fly a departure to Vivas. So let's go up here, departure Vivas. So I'm looking for a RNF departure. These are oh, actually no. You know what? These should be, yeah, conventional departures. Yeah, so this is going to be runway 13. So 2 Charlie or 3 Hotel. So it's going to be the 3 Hotel. Actually, you know what? Now let's go take this one because it's a lovely departure around the city, and so we gain some altitude before proceeding on course. So initial climb clearance is going to be 90 with the Vivas 2 Charlie. And I will have a look outside. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. Look, guys, there's enough parking spaces here.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Thank you. No, it should be... No. So... Anyway, I hope that person realizes, because he shouldn't really be seeing much. So we are called Victor Lima Golf 711. Put that in there. Cost index, according to the flight plan, is 18. Cruising level 34. Actually, it's 340. It says. Okay, interesting. 340 at minus 50 degrees. And temperature right now is still 24 degrees. It's really hot. Yeah, Aaron, that's you to the left. Yeah, I figured that, but the louder. God, I'm going to give him 3 more minutes. If he doesn't move, then I'll go and ignore him on VATSIM. But I don't want to be rude straight away, so. Let's go weather request. Lima Echo Mike Golf. Meta. Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess 24 isn't that hot, but the southern part of Spain had like almost 40. Check, let's do a quick loading here. So ground services, let's go, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do that fast. There we go. Quickly check.
Refueling truck is on its way.
So they're linked, that's
Please
fine.
don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Ice detection, that, safe. Good, what else? So we've got that. I'm gonna go with zero fuel weight, planned 60.6. Lock fuel is supposed to be 7.3. The also is Marseille and will require 1.1 ton of fuel. Oops. So that should be... There we go. So we have about 20 minutes extra fuel. So departing 1-3 via the Vibas.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was the 2 Charlie. There we go. Maybe it hasn't updated. Yeah, but that's strange though, isn't it? Yeah, Aaron, don't worry about it. All good. So if it doesn't worry you, I don't mind. All fine. Let me check the weather in Nice. So let's go my flight. Let's go. ATIS offline. They should be online at Nice. Kind of weird. 170 at 4. Now below 5 knots, normally you would have 4 left. So I would assume it's going to be arrival 4 left. And we'll fly the arrival called Ablak. 7 Romeo. Transition via... I think it was via... It could be Mike Uniform Sierra. Let me just check that. So, arrival Aplak 7 Romeo. Yeah, normally via Mike Uniform Sierra. That's what I thought. And then the approach will probably be an
Fuel truck is in position.
An RMP approach.
Please don't load
Alpha.
aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
And then you have the visual part, Alpha somewhere.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new
Hey,
subscribers
Nick,
please make your way
nice to
the
see you.
first-class cabin, where
So via
complimentary
Mike
drinks,
Uniform
snacks,
Sierra.
and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Nick, thank you much for the 70 months. Good God. 70 months. Aaron, oh, there we go, Aaron, yeah. That looks good for me now, yeah, fantastic. It's quite busy down here. Surprised. Nick, how are you doing? And Matt, hello. Hey, congrats, Matt. Here's a round of applause for you. Well done. So Matt 51X has just got his first job as an airline pilot. GG. Yeah, I wish you all the best, and I wish you happy landings, always. Well done. Hello, hello. Good, so we're just checking the arrival. We'll check the rest later. So init A page, B page is filled out. Flat plan page, rat nav. Yeah, let's take Malaga in here. Secondary copy active. We'll do a return if anything happens. And we're going to arrive as well. ILS Zulu 13. No star, no fire. And performance to go. Oh, that's really kind, Matt. Thanks for the kind words. Nick and Guru, hello. Negative good exam season. Blimey, yeah. I don't envy you for that, man. It's. Oof. But we talked about it, haven't we? When you were over in Bremen. I mean, I'm still boarding. Yeah, good times coming up. All right, so busy now, but man, once everything's done and you're finished, it'll feel so brilliant. Mark, same for me. I sometimes have nightmares where I have to take A-level maths again, but in Germany. So they're like saying, you didn't complete it correctly, so you need to do them again. And I'm like, you what? You gotta be kidding me. So first load sheet data is 60.6. So that's good. And the weather data here, again, it's a cavalcade 23 degrees 1014. So we'll set that. And that is synced. For the departure, we will go and have a look here again. So initial climb is going to be 900. And that's it. Pain. I'm going to have some salad while we wait for the boarding to be completed. Pretty much just like in real life. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
So, departing runway 13 via the Pushback to Charlie, initial climb 900, sector altitudes 4,200, 8,500, and then 900 flight level, and the terrain gets very high very quickly to the north. VBAS 100 above. Yeah, initial climb 900, and we have a extra fuel of around about 600 to 800 kilograms, about 20-25 minutes of fuel. Why is that 67.6? Yeah, that's pretty much max takeoff weight, isn't it? Blimey. We'll do packs off, of course. It'll be a... Let's check here. It'll be config 1 plus F 63 flex 154647. Okay. And so taxi out is pretty much straightforward. Pushback, and then we taxi out. What are the gates here? Romeo 5 probably, and then Alpha holding point, Hotel November 1 or Hotel November 2, runway 13. There's nothing special. The engine up procedure goes as follows. Acceleration is at 1600 feet, and we have an AOSIT straight out 25 mile to hold. And then we'll clean up, climb at least 4,000 feet, and then come back again. ILS 13 here in Malaga. Threats, terrain, obviously. Anything else? Right, I don't see anything else out either. So let me just enter the performance data then. So let's go ahead. And so flaps 1. .63 flex, 1600 engine out acceleration. It's NADP 2. Transition 6000 is correct. No shift. And we have 28.9. Trim down 0.1. And so 145, 146, and 147. Okay. Just going to enter the data here in the FS2 crew. Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
7,300 kilograms balanced.
Seat belts.
On.
Adheres.
NAF.
Baro ref.
Kinich 1014. Kinich 1014 set.
1014. Set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Thank you very much. No, negative, no. It's already getting dark, so may as well do all that. Just waiting for the APU to start up now. And then we're good to go. There it is. So let's get rid of all of the services here. Close the door. Toggle the jetway. Cool. So 22.8 for the Unicom here. Just checking again, we have no control. And let's call for the pushback truck. Why is that door not closing? Would you mind?
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Caramba! Scary FO. What, you mean scarier than me, Mark? Is he serious competition to me? Before start checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
145, 146, 147, flex 63. Set and checked.
V1 145, VR 146, V2 147, flex temp 63 degrees. Windows.
Closed.
Beacon.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
Okay, so just going to check the final figures. So 60.5. CG. Is
Release parking brakes, please.
release. So 30.8. Zero fuel CG. 67.6. Takeoff weight, that's correct. And performance trim down 0.1 is checked.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Livestream. As you look at the one item
Malaga traffic, Wuling 711 is pushing back. Stand 25.
All engines clear. Start at full.
we are unable to stow your items. Please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you.
Guys.
We also request that you use the safety card in your seat pocket. If you're seating in an exit seat, also view the exit seat criteria. Thank you.
Cool. Done the checklist. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Starting engine 1.
Okay.
Wow, that's a good pushback actually. GG. Wow, that's a perfect pushback. I'm surprised. GSX, are you not feeling well today? What's happening?
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Parking brake set. And we have a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Yeah, exactly. Who are you? What did you do with GSX? Like, that can't be right. Fake. Somehow, I have a feeling
Unlocking gear.
you said that before today, like. Flight control check.
Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Don't touch this.
Rudder.
Full left.
Light bus being removed.
Full right. Neutral.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright, there he goes. Just waiting for the all clear signal. It works, trust me. Alright, yeah, okay. There's the pin. After start checklist. After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
28.9. Set and checked. Set and checked.
Rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist completed.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Off we go. Malaga traffic, Vueling 7, we're on taxiing runway 13 in Malaga. Everyone else already left. How could that be? Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Malaga traffic, Ryanair 120 Alpha, stand 23, pushing back.
The voice you hear right now is not from GSX. But yes, GSX for the pushback, for example, yes, that has different voices. So depending on the country that you're in, you do get different voice sets. Yeah, Matt, but unless FS Labs comes to Microsoft, I don't see that happening. Yeah, the FO is from FS2 Crew, exactly. So FS2 Crew also has different voice sets, and there's one you may recognize. Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap settings.
Config 1+F.
Config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is the person speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for the following safety instructions. We will now demonstrate how to fasten, tighten, and unfasten your seatbelt. This aircraft has clearly marked emergency exits. All exits are equipped with slides. Floor level lighting will guide you to the marked exits. In the event of decompression, oxygen mask will be released.
Is it meant to pilot? Almost.
Pulling the mask down will start the
Almost.
oxygen flow. Place it firmly over your mouth and nose and secure the elastic strap over your head. Then assist others. Oxygen masks are also provided in lavatories. For your own safety, passengers are not allowed to congregate in groups around the lavatories.
Kongu what?
When instructed to do so, please
They're
take
not allowed
the
to do
life
what
vest
in the toilets?
under your seat. Place the life vest over your
Sapphire
head.
Wave, good evening.
Place the strap around your body. Attach the end into the buckle at the front and pull the strap tight. Pull the red handles to inflate the life vest only after leaving the aircraft through emergency exits. The life vest has 2 valves to inflate the regular air pressure. Signal them light up in 2 seconds. At this time, please take a view at the safety card in front of you. Here you find further important information. Furthermore, you have to comply with
Yeah, so regarding my further streaming schedule, I'm on duty from tomorrow onwards. I'll be back on Tuesday morning, so Tuesday I'll have to recover. Wednesday next week is the next stream. And then Thursday I've got to go back to Frankfurt already again. And then I'm away for another 5-day rotation. IRL stream, you wish. You wish. Where's the floodlight? Come on. There it is. It's hard to find. Good, we're ready. Approach sector's clear. Malaga traffic, Vueling 711, departing runway 13 out of Malaga. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Lineup checklist.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Runway 13 confirmed. Takeoff runway confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic. TCAS. Cabin crew be seated for takeoff. Packs 1 and 2.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
How do you change on top of your body clocks? A body clock with the changing schedules? Well, luckily I don't really have to deal with jet lag, so it's more, you know, getting up early, working long hours. So it's more, you know, the stress really. Are you ready for departure? Ready?
Ready.
Takeoff.
Check.
Manflex 63, SAS, runway, auto thrust blue.
Checked. Thrust set. $100 knots.
Checked.
B1 rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Enough.
Packs are on.
Thrust, climb, climb, out, blue, auto thrust. Wow, that looks so beautiful. Look at that. Got the coastline there. What on earth did I say that made him switch on the wipers? Like, what? Hey, Lewis Daniel, nice to see you. I'm doing well. How are you? Lol. Yeah, right. Flap 0.
Speed checked. Flap 0.
enjoying the views here. So 9-0 initially, but there's no control, so I'm going to go all the way up to 340.
Set.
Malaga traffic, runway 120 Alpha, lining up at the last 3.
Just watch that beautiful departure. Dirty Berry, yeah. It looks like the spoilers are out a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, they were. That's weird. So we've got transition level coming up. Or transition altitude coming up. Louis Daniel, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 072. Now.
Checked. Now. I love it. Oh look, there's I think it's Airline just departing here. Not tomorrow, now. Right, cool. Remaining flight time, let's have a look. I didn't even comment on the total flight time, did I? It's about an hour 10 or something. Whoa, that's a lot. What? 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 No way. Can't be that long. 2103. I did not realize it would take that long. Yeah, like... Well, I mean... Blimey. France, well, I've got to get up tomorrow. And get to Frankfurt. I've got a long day tomorrow, so... Wow, look at that. That's so gorgeous. Right, again, there's the airport. Turn on the afterburner. Yeah, I wish I had them. I wish I had them. Hey Kazipai, I directly be smart. Oh, you guys. Love that blinking light there. Look at that. Gorgeous. Brilliant. Cool. So let's go to manage climb. And we have that restriction, that's no problem. And optimum is 350, we're going to climb 340, so I'm happy with that. Landing lights off. Seatbelts off. Clear rat nav.
Okay.
Yeah, plenty of time for some stories. Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, Mark, you start. Let's see. Holiday season coming up, right? So we got almost May. Anyone going somewhere nice in the next couple of weeks or months? Kazipaya, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Lewis Daniels going to Orlando in September. Nice. Do you know which aircraft is planned for your trip? Calypsia, normally yes. Normally you have the same rules, eastbound odd, westbound even, but you have some special airways in Europe which have either just even flight levels or odd flight levels. Oh nice, 330 Neo, that's a lovely aircraft. That's brilliant. And Aaron, you're going to Thailand or Singapore and Thailand. Nice. That's also a beautiful trip, yeah. Kazapaya, you a bit tired? Yesterday on Hans Zimmer Live. Oh, nice. How was the concert? Lewis says normally you fly from Lisbon to Miami and then rent a car to drive to Orlando. It's cheap and easy. I've heard that before. Yeah. Something Italian. Well, okay, so the question Marx asks is, what's your favorite layover and why? That's always tough to answer because I don't really have a single most favorite layover place. The real or the place or the layovers that really I find really nice are the ones where you have some interesting stuff to do. So for example, when the city is very scenic, or you have some good outside activities. So one of the most beautiful places that I've visited is, for example, Dresden. That's an amazing city. I love going to Tallinn. Tallinn is also a beautiful place. But then, I mean, Porto, Lisbon, apps incredible places. I'm not a huge fan of all of the, let's say, the Greek layovers, or you know, even though Barcelona, for example, is a interesting city, it's just very full, very crowded. and there isn't really, well, there's stuff to do outside, but because it's so crowded, I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, of course. I mean, if it were East Midlands, then, you know, obviously. But, as you know, I've been to Amman, so Jordania, not too long ago, and that trip was amazing. Well, apart from running out of fuel in the bus, and then being stranded on the side of the road for about an hour, that wasn't that much fun. But the rest was absolutely magical. Casablanca, so the concert was lovely second time. Yeah, I do like the soundtracks. Yeah, I do. Hotel chains. Well, obviously there's some more luxurious ones, like you know, be it Hilton or be it Sheraton. Yeah, so kind of the bigger brand, luxury brand names, but we don't have much of those. It's more on various kind of exotic destinations. We do have some of the, you know, the posher ones. In Europe, in general, we often have Novotel, NH hotels. We have Mercure hotels. We have we actually have a lot of Radisson. Yeah, Radisson is also very nice. I like them as well. Amman, so jury, so Amman, not so Jordania, Amman, not Oman, Amman with A. Yeah, Lewis, that sounds great. Yeah. Oh, the other day, we flew to Stockholm in the evening and we saw Northern Lights. I did post a picture on my Discord. Yeah, you don't really see often these Northern Lights so far down south. But, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, the airport is nice in Amman, yeah. Yeah, Cairo airport needs to be renovated. Yeah, I agree. So let's have a look. Alicante. And Lewis, you've been to some of the Novotel as well. Yeah, I mean, there are some, you know, some better ones from that chain, but there's also, you know, more cheaper variants. So the only thing I don't really like about some of the cheaper brands is that sometimes they have very thin walls, and so they're very noisy. Sixilla, good evening. Yeah, in Barcelona we had, well, actually no, we had a hotel. They had wooden floors, and not joking, it was so loud that I woke up like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I seriously thought there was a woman on high heels walking through my room. Right, so it was so loud, and it was in the room next door. You were dreaming, yeah, probably. No, it was so loud. I was like, and I was just hoping, like, for crying out loud, you know, just either take the shoes off or get out. I mean, I can't sleep. Yeah, fatigue report. Actually, I did do that once, coming from Cairo. They had a wedding ceremony at the hotel. It was so loud. The music was so loud. I changed rooms, but that was no help. And in the end, I didn't really sleep much. So after my flight back, I had to call in fatigued. Yeah. All right, 1,000 to go. Yes, we've been to Norway not too long ago, actually. So we're doing the One Engine Out Norway tour. So oneengineout.com has these tours, and we're doing the Norway tour, and we're doing that from time to time here on the stream. And I'm sure we went to Alisund, yeah. Sixilla, yeah, thanks for the kind of words. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy the website. Yeah. Oh my god, Adventure!
Seasonal greetings and thanks for the gifted sub.
Seasonal greetings. Is it Christmas already? Avenger. Avenger coming in. Well, it feels like Christmas. 5 gifted subs. Blimey. GG's. Avenger, that's really kind. That makes it a total of a whopping 235 gifted subs on the channel. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, you're right, Avenger. I keep saying it, but people don't believe me. Every year the same, same deal. So, Valentino, Jensen, Ice-T, Riobard, and Tore, please say a big thank you to Avenger for gifting you the sub. Do you live in Germany? Yes, I do, near Bremen. Lewis says you're amazed at Holiday Inn in New York. Next time, next to the Times Square was good. Nice, yeah. And Freda, moin. Wie geht's? $2.9 is what we are expecting at Nice at the moment, and min diversion. Let's have a look. Final reserve plus alternate. It's about 2 tons. So we still have about 900 kilograms more than required. So the extra fuel is still on board, which means there shouldn't be any issues with the go-around. Yeah, so baby Boeing, I'm not sure, did we have that conversation some time ago? Because I remember having a discussion with someone, another real-world pilot, and the thing is, these NADP procedures are often not mandatory. So they are more like recommended from the airport authorities. And so if that's the case, the airline will decide on a different company-specific procedure. So whenever I'm using NADP 2, for example, there may be people using NADP 1. That's just the way it is. And again, my website is not for real-world flying. It's there for entertainment purposes. It's there for people, not getting infos on which procedure to use. And there they get at least some data, and most of it will be consistent with the real world data. But again, it's just a flight simming, because I can't guarantee the correctness, especially when it comes to airline SOPs. Yeah, so baby Boeing, it's literally a company decision then, and the company. So for me, if I go into my EFB, I have a tab which gets me into the list of airports, and in the list of airports we have arrival, parking, departure info, and under departure info I will get exactly the NADP 1 or 2 to be flown. Mark, I would be surprised if they do, because I've seen airports where different airlines use different procedures, and so as far as I'm aware, the only restriction in that regard, unless the airport says you have to do acceleration at 1500 and the thrust reduction at 1000 or whatever. Unless they state that clearly, you're free to use differently. The only thing you have to look out for is the lateral tracking. So they will have noise monitoring reporting points along along the track, and most the first thing that comes to mind on charts is Vienna. So if you go to the departure charts in Vienna, they will show you these reporting points here, or the monitoring points. You see, these are monitoring stations, right? Just to make sure that you're flying correctly. Yeah, MCK, like that, exactly that. So, it's difficult to really comment on, what airport has which procedures. Yeah, and baby Boeing, I think that would be wasted money, because again, there will be so many airports just recommending something, but not requiring you to do that. So,
good night,
Lilo. Good
Black
night to you.
Box.
Thanks so much for watching, and take care. All the best. Big shout out to Fly Lilo. He's also streaming on Twitch. Make sure to check out his channel. Euroland, there we go. Yeah, Prague. I mean, there's noise monitoring in oh, come on. in Frankfurt as well. So I'm going to do that again. So let's go airport. Parking stands. And we'll do ground charts, arrival. That was the Ablak arrival via Mike Uniform Sierra. And then we'll do the approach. So we'll do the RMP for left. Actually, hang on. Let me just check what approach they're using.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served.
They still have
Thank
no
you.
ATIS there. That's interesting. Hey, Lewis Daniel.
Thanks for the awesome content.
Oh, that's really kind.
I have learned so much with you and I will keep learning, even if I am just watching and not writing on the chat. Thank you.
Lewis Daniel, that's really kind of you. Thank you so much for the kind words and the resub. 7 months. Thank you very much. Thanks for supporting. Yeah, but baby Boeing, you know, there's actually airlines that have the thrust reduction acceleration sometimes at 800 feet and not 1,000 feet. So again, it's a complicated matter, and there's no fixed rule really. Well, Airbus standard is even 800, so it's yeah. Yeah, I've seen that as well, and sometimes I find that confusing. I really do. Oh, there's a big city there. I don't know what that is. Let's have a look. Ah, that's Alicante. Ah, okay. Vueling has that as well, 800 feet. How do you know all this stuff? Blimey. Oh, baby Boeing in Europe, 100%. Yeah, you got to keep all these people busy. So, should be time for a fuel check. Astro, do we have that on the routing? Let's have a look. Yes, we do. So 30 minutes after departure, we departed at 18. So we departed at 1918, and we should be crossing Astro at 48. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit behind the time. We're supposed to have 5.1 estimated. And looks like the fuel at least is going to be fine. But yeah, I think the departure just took a bit longer because we were circling around the airport on departure. Valencia! Nice. Caramba. Valencia coming up here. Yeah, so again, I'm going to expect approach 4 left. So we're going to go that one there, and RMP visual part after the RMP alpha. And yeah, that's all we need. So initial, yeah, so from Mike Uniform Sierra, we're going to go proceed probably radar vectors or course 090 degrees. But that's, let's just see. Alright. Cool. So for Nice, I've got lots of infos. Arrival info, so max speed to 50 knots below level 100. Yeah, preferential runway is 04 up to 6 knots tail component. And normally you have 4 left for landing. Expect shortcuts on standard arrival routing, which can shorten the distance to the runway considerably. The preferred approaches is RNOV or the VUR alpha, followed by the visual part alpha. Pilots are requested to avoid overflying Cape and the city of Antibes, and that's west of radial 174 out of Charlie Golf Sierra. I'll show that in a second. And the city of Nice, Cap Ferrat, of course. Do not use more than idle reverse if possible, and exit latest taxiway Hotel 1 when you land on 4 left. APU is permitted maximum 30 minutes. So let's have a quick look. So actually disregard. Do that here. So Hotel 1 is this one there. So that's the latest. But normally we would get out of Echo Golf or Golf 1. Left Golf Tango to the stands. Yeah, so that should be no problem at all. Yeah, that's true. We've got lots of airports where you have to turn off the APU within like 5 minutes. And for example, the Scandinavian airports are the ones that are really, really strict. So there's actually airports in Scandinavia where if you switch on the APU too early and switch on the PAC system, the loading crew will just leave the aircraft and stop loading. Yeah, I remember a case when I was at Copenhagen. It was it last year? I think it was last year, like April or pretty much the same time. And yeah, so I probably told a story before, but we got into the aircraft early morning, and no joke, the cabin, so outside temperature was like 4 degrees and the cabin had like 6 degrees Celsius. And so normally Copenhagen has a very good air conditioning system on the jetway, and so then you have pre-conditioned air getting into the aircraft. So in summertime it will be cooling, and in wintertime it will be heating. However, I called the ramp agent and I said, hey, do me a favor and switch on the heating. And he said, well, he can't, because officially it's already summertime, and so all the system can do is cool. So the airport has either the option to cool or to heat. They can't individually have, you know, the stands be heated and cooled, whatever you need. So that is something I didn't know about. And so I said, okay, do me a favor, just switch off the air conditioning unit then, because it's cooling our cabin, and it is freezing cold. So he said, well, and so I checked for the AOI regarding APU, and is it 15 minutes in Copenhagen? Let me just check here.
Well, enter traffic. Top Swiss 39 Uniform Golf, taking off runway 12.
Let me have a look here. Let's have a look. Noise. Oh, there we go. Look. A huge chapter on the use of auxiliary power unit. That's in Copenhagen. So, the use of APU on aircraft stands shall be limited as much as possible. Startup of APU during refueling is allowed only, blah blah blah. Now, the APU may be used 5 minutes after on-block or 5 minutes before target off-block time. Exemptions. When the outside air temperature is below -10, lol, or above +25, and if the airport supply of power air conditioning is unserviceable, then the following conditions apply. So I called up the authority, so they have a frequency. Hey Al, how you doing? So I called them up on the frequency. I said, hey, we got a problem. We've got 6 degrees Celsius in the cabin, and the airport is unable to provide heating. A request to start the APU now. And so they told me stand by. And a couple of minutes later, they go, your departure time, apparently, let's say it's 9 UTC. And so we will allow you to start the APU 15 minutes before departure. And I said, that's no good. Because if we start boarding 30 minutes before departure, I'm going to have passengers at the back at -6 or at +6 degrees Celsius, freezing their butts off, and that is just not acceptable. You know what? The airport is not really that close to downtown, and it's the airport, for crying out loud. So, you know, it's not as if I want to cheat or anything. It was literally to make sure the passengers don't catch a cold on the aircraft. And so they didn't approve it. They said no. The maximum you could do is 15 minutes.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Hey Paydale, how you doing?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Good day BB, good day chat.
Good day to you. Thank you so much for the 36, that's 3 years. Paydale, I hope you're doing good. Yeah, so I decided then to delay the boarding until 15 minutes before departure. Because if we start the APU 15 minutes before departure, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to heat up the cabin from the APU bleed air. So, yeah, I delayed boarding. I wrote my report, complaint, whatever, and of course it had no effect, but there you go. The RAF, well, you know, so no, MCK, no. No. Well, I mean, I knew that the flight plan was very favorable. We didn't have a slot time, so the flight plan was favorable. I knew that we wouldn't be arriving late in Frankfurt, but yeah, I needed to make a point. So we delayed the flight. I filed a complaint, and so, you know, because it was ludicrous, it was stupid to have such a strict rule. And again, if they can't provide the service that they promise, well, then there should be exceptions. Simple as that. Hey Oliver, how you doing? Let's see. So, remaining flight time is about an hour. Hoping we arrive in time. Is it really? Okay, lack of staff causing empty slots. Good God, yeah. It's usually it's noise, Pod. I mean, you can also, of course, say it's because of pollution, but APU doesn't really use that much fuel, so it's more the noise factor. Yeah, so Winky, I totally understand that, but again, you've got to be able to provide, to adapt with those services, because again, there's people coming on board that wearing literally just trousers and a t-shirt. Oh, well, MCK, you've got the choice. So if you want to accept grumpy passengers and grumpy cabin crew, then, well, go ahead. You're fine to do that. But yes, of course, so MCK, of course I wouldn't delay that much if I knew that because of that we would have a lot of connecting passengers miss their flights. No, I wouldn't do that. So I made sure on the flight plan we have enough buffer, we have enough chance to make it on time. Yeah. Yeah. But otherwise, Winky, I totally agree. I try to avoid using the APU as much as possible, anyways, because it does make a hell of a noise, and so anybody on the ramp working, definitely does suffer when the APU and the PAC system is running. Okay, yeah, interesting, Baby Boeing. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of disruptions this year again, and not just because of lack of staff, but also, for example, in June there's a huge military practice. Or maneuver, or whatever they call it. So yeah, you gotta be ready for major delays in summertime. Yeah, I'm already trying to get into that mindset where it's gonna be chaotic. Just the way it's gonna be. Yeah, so Lewis Daniel, I commented on that yesterday, and I referred to the times when I was flying the Dash 8, so Q400, the Majestics and P3D, and the Fly JSIM Dash 8. That's an aircraft I enjoyed flying because it offered a very nice, and a very kind of true system simulation. Had a great flight model, so that was enjoyable. From the streams that I saw, I would say the ATR is an aircraft which is fine to go A to B on certain routings. It offers you a bit more variety, but it doesn't have great system depth. It has many flaws in the autopilot system and the FMS, which would upset me personally. So I have two options. So Lewis, either I jump on that hype bandwagon and stream it to get viewers, or I can be honest and tell you it's not for me. I'll only do 1 or 2 flights with it, and then it'll be parked on the hard drive. It'll it'll just take up hard drive space and not be used anymore. Yeah, negative, especially yeah, okay, well, I mean, that's cool. In Germany we don't, and the problem is there's lots of training areas in Germany that will be active in these 2 weeks in June. Lord, really, MCK? Whoops. But I have to admit, it happened to me as well. Yeah, I did make an announcement that we almost finished and we would leave in the next few minutes. And then I got a slot time. Yeah, 2 hours or 1 hour late. Yeah, it happened to me as well. Oh, and then he made another announcement saying that it got improved and it could go now. Lol. Yeah, but that can happen sometimes. That's just the way it is. Hey Oisk, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not for me. And so, just to give you an idea, if I were to get the ATR and stream it, it would mean that I would have to invest a good day's work in studying the aircraft, you know, understanding how to start it, to fly it, program the FMS, etc., etc. So there's a lot of work that actually goes into the preparations of such a stream. And so I only have 2 days off right now. So I've been home for 2.5 days. Tomorrow I've got to go back to Frankfurt. And so I used the time to finish up some work on the flight sim rig, and also on the FSI panel mission that I made. People have been asking when I release it, so I've made the workshop file today for it, which does take another couple of hours as well. So yeah, you know, so I'd rather spend the limited time that I have on something I enjoy doing, and I think that even though it only really will be targeted to a fairly small flight sim group, mainly here in my community, but I know that these people will really enjoy it and really appreciate it. Oliver asks, why are not all of the waypoints depicted on the Lufthansa flight plan? Yeah, so they just do not see that to be necessary. Normally what happens is they have certain criteria for when to place a waypoint on the flight plan. It'll either be bigger changes in temperature or wind, a change in flight level, or change in speed, or on certain waypoints that are mandatory. So so they try to declutter the flight plan. That's the idea, and that's why I like it, because I have everything I need to know on this page, and I can do my fuel checks. So that's all fine. Everything's there what I need, right? Louis Daniel, I have a feeling at the moment, literally every aircraft that comes to Microsoft Flight Sim is being hyped to a certain degree. So you've got to be careful. And I always find it interesting that some people, when they fly it and comment on it, there's people saying, "Oh, that's definitely worth buying. You know, it's a steal for that price." Or then someone else will say, "Nah, you know, I've tried to fly it and it doesn't follow the flight plan. It doesn't do the holdings. It doesn't do VNAV. The engine dies, whatever, you know." And so you get so different views on some of these add-ons. And yeah, that does confuse people. Aaron asks, how do you manage living in Bremen while being based? I'm based in Frankfurt, Aaron. Yeah, so standby, yeah, so 60 or 90 minutes, depending on the duty time. So 90 minutes, so whenever I have standby duty, I have to be in Frankfurt. And so I have to commute to Frankfurt, stay in a hotel. yeah, and be ready for duty that way. That is just the way it is. And I commented also on how boring. Yeah, if you don't get called out, it is boring. Yeah. Imagine having like 3 days in a row on constant standby for, well, you have a 12-hour shift for standby and the rest is sent off, but still, I mean, and you don't get called out, it is boring, absolutely. But also it's a bit exciting because when you get a call, you literally, apart from very few airports around Europe, you could be, you know, sent on a multi-day rotation to all kinds of destinations. You do not know pre-hand what's going to happen. What makes me not move to Frankfurt nearer? My wife. So my wife was born in Bremen. She lived here in Bremen most of her life, and we tried to live near Frankfurt for about 5 years when I started working in Frankfurt, but she wasn't happy there. So, you know, all her friends are up here north and family, etc., etc. So we moved back to Bremen, and I commuted from that point onward. Oyster, no. So, you know, I commented on the situation regarding commuting. It's becoming more and more difficult, and you know, car or train is not really an alternative, because with the car you have lots of traffic jams, and with train they are, in Germany at least, so unreliable that you just can't count on them. So I try to plan, you know, a flight which has enough buffer time. If anything goes wrong, then I can maybe still get an alternative means of transport, or another flight closer to my briefing. But the one thing that's been quite shocking is the rise in prices, and so the flights and the hotels have the prices for that have gone up so much over the last 3 years that yeah, it's becoming painful. It's becoming painful to the point where I also have to invest so much time away from home to start my duty in Frankfurt. So that's what I'm not happy about. Yeah. No, I do have to pay for the flights. I do get a discount, but the discount means, right, there's Barcelona. The discount means I need a free space. So if there's the flight is fully booked, and at the moment a lot of flights are fully booked, especially when you have smaller aircraft on these routings. Yeah, so-called standby tickets. So I've got to, you know, plan a flight which is not fully booked, or I have to buy a very, very expensive full fare price ticket. So yeah, MCK, no such luck for me. No, not in Frankfurt. Yeah, pale ale it is. Yeah, it is. Oliver, there are certain airlines or aircraft which only have like one jump seat, i.e. in the cockpit, and then obviously there's flight crews which will not really give you a jump seat in the flight deck. It's happened to me. The Neo, for example, the Neo 320 only has one jump seat that you can use, and that's on the flight deck. And so we have lots of people commuting out of Bremen, for example, so there's a lot of competition. So you just can't rely on that. Oh, MCK, I'll tell you an interesting story. That was with the Eurowings Jumbolino, long time ago. I was still flying long range back then, so I came home from a long range flight. The flight wasn't fully booked. It was like 80% booked. And I got a seat. I got onto the aircraft. just got nice and nestled into my seat, about to close my eyes, and the stewardess comes to me and says to me, "Excuse me, are you Mr. Such and Such?" And I said, "Yeah, what's the problem?" And she said, "Well, well, you're going to have to get off the aircraft." And I was like, "What? You know, why?" And she said, "Well, the aircraft's too heavy." And I said, "Look, ma'am, I'm not that heavy, right? You know." So she gave me that, "Oh, you're very funny" kind of look. And she said, "No, the captain said you have to get off the aircraft." Yeah, that's an insult, right? So I said, "Excuse me, then I would like to talk to the captain. I'm a crew member. I'd like to talk to him." So I was allowed in the cockpit, and I said to the captain, "Yeah, I heard I have to get off the aircraft." And he said, "Yeah, the plane is too heavy." And I said, "Well, I understand that you do tankering on that sector." And he said, "Yeah, and that's why we're too heavy." And I said, "Well, normally when I'm confronted with that situation, I'm the pilot in command, and I have a fellow colleague flying along, and the aircraft's too heavy, I will find a way for the paper to make it legal, right? And there are ways, there are possibilities to do that. The important thing is, obviously, is that you don't land overweight, right? But there is ways to do that, and it's legal, it's perfectly legal, but it does require you to have the knowledge, and it does require you to do a couple of steps to accommodate that. And the captain just said, "No, I'm not doing that." And so, yeah, I had to leave the aircraft. So believe it or not, there was a bus that came in all the way from the terminal. It was a huge bus, like for 100 passengers. And I was the only one that had to drive back with that bus. Yeah, so I just couldn't believe it. I thought, well, okay, that's interesting. The shame bus. Yeah, so that was one of the more negative experiences that I made. Does that mean I will never take on Eurowings flight crews in my cockpit? No, it doesn't. I actually had lots of jump seats. I gave lots of jump seats to Eurowings colleagues, so I'm not on revenge or anything like that. What, like a bus seat is? Yeah, that's true. No, so Oliver, that's another thing. That's another misconception. Since I get discounted tickets, I'm not entitled to use those tickets for a frequent traveler program, which makes sense. It wouldn't be fair, would it? So those tickets do not count for frequent traveler status. Only full fare tickets will do that. Photochromax. Jump seat for BB followers when? Well, maybe for tier 3. No, joking. No, look, you know, there are limits to what I can do, right? If it were up to me, I would do that, of course, but the law says different. Yeah. So the good question or a comment: nowadays society is based on hype and sensationalism, mostly online, but also in the so-called real life. Life's only real, just living it in different medium. Yeah, I get your point, and I've been in the flight sim business now for quite some time, and I've been a beta tester, and I have been asked to promote certain products over and over again, and I had to be careful. And actually, I decline most offers, and I will only accept those where I think it's a good product. So, for example, I promote the FSI panel, which is a fantastic product. I promoted the FS Labs, which I still think is a fantastic product. I promoted the FENIX, which I still, even though it has its faults, I still think it's a good product. And there's a couple of scenery add-ons that I promote. No, I never get paid. No, so that's not the way it works. No, you don't get paid money for it. You get a free copy, and if you're lucky, you get a copy for your viewers for a giveaway. But no, money. I've never seen money to promote any of the products. No. Yeah, so and that's the dilemma that a lot of streamers have these days. So the more viewers you have, i.e. the more of an influencer you are in the eyes of the developers, the more you get asked to promote certain products and to speak positively about it. So that's why you have to be careful when you see people streaming these or making videos about these products. I'm sure by experience you will know which streamers are reliable in their honest opinion, but there are obviously streamers out there that will just simply showcase stuff just to get the clicks, and that's just the way it is. I understand them, maybe they try to make a living of it, whatever, but yeah, you got to be careful sometimes. Yeah, so Fogbound Turtle, yeah, so it's an incentive, so I would call it incentive. So if you get a free copy, it is kind of a incentive. It's not really paid in the sense that it's just limited to that one product. But yes, it is a kind of a reward and incentive. But that in turn already can make you somewhat biased towards the product, right? Well, yeah, biased. So Oliver, it's not really. I mean, bribe seems like a very kind of harsh word, but it's more like a gift to make you positive towards it. Yeah, I agree with that. Depending on your experiences and depending on your preferences, especially in flight simming, you're already biased to a certain degree. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I am biased as well, of course. But again, I've dialed down the amount of products that I stream. I try to avoid hyping things. So, because I see quite often that the promises are not met, and then you just have to realize that we're talking about hard-earned money being spent on a product. So, there's maybe some teenagers that have saved up some of their pocket money, and then I go and praise a certain product, being realistic and ultra realistic and true to life and blah, and that person goes out and buys it, and then finds out it's actually not what it doesn't deliver what people are promising. And so I would say you have a certain responsibility as a influencer, and you have to be careful with what you show, what you say on stream. I have the wing light. Oh, my co-pilot. Good catch. Oh no, they're not on. Which lights are on? Oh, okay. Those are switched off automatically by gear attraction. But yeah, good catch. So these were still. I blame my co-pilot for that. It's called buttering up. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, also, Oliver, one of the big excuses you can always pull is you can say as a person, a streamer, you know, showcasing a product, you can always say, well, it's my own opinion. I don't fly this aircraft in real life, blah blah blah. And for my personal, you know, opinion, I would say, you know, it's a good product. 24650.
It is 1124 Marseille, bonsoir, squawk 1000.
Marseille, what's up? Willing 711, flight level 340.
Willing 711 Marseille, bonsoir, squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, willing 711.
Marseille Center, hello, good evening. It's China Eastern 710, flight level 360, 86 miles, Omazi.
Omazi, nice.
China Eastern 710 Marseille, bonsoir, squawk 5662.
5662, China Eastern 710.
Transponder set on 2, yeah, my co-pilot. He's very kind of weird sometimes.
Descent level 100.
Yeah, so wing light
can you repeat our squawk?
is usually used on the ground because in
in
flight, from the flight deck, you can't really see much of the wing.
China Eastern 710.
So it doesn't really help you much. I mean, from the passenger view, yeah, you can see where the light is illuminating.
711 identified, clear a black 7 Romeo arrival.
Cleared the Ablac 7 Romeo arrival, Wuling 711.
Control, Lufthansa 572, inbound, speed up, flight level 350.
Lufthansa 572,
yeah, you can see the light illuminating the leading edges.
Ready for descent.
Wuling 711, roger. So, yeah, so it's more for icing checks, right? Engine inlet, leading edges, and you can do that better on the ground outside.
Qatari 230 manner contact Milano 127 decimal 450, bye-bye.
Even ChatGPT is biased. Well, I mean, it's programmed by humans, yeah, so...
Ryanair 138 is Ryanair 134.
Ryanair 138, welcome to Perpignan. Do you have a preference for the stand?
Let's see, so... You can see the CFO chart, the VPT has told us the waypoints and hang on. Oh, sorry.
Roger. So in this case, taxi stand Papa 3 Alpha via Kilo.
Papa 3 Alpha via Kilo, Ryanair 134.
4 says, but you know, real pilot in the YouTube title for plane, you never float. So, yeah, I know. I'm using using Airline Captain, but then again, for me, it's obviously also an issue when I have people come in, and I often get asked, then, are you real world pilot? So again, if you put that in a title, they will know you're a real world pilot, and you would get. More likely, you will get questions, you know, asked, which my stream lives from. So I found that quite positive, actually. Even though I've been against it for a long time, and I don't really like it, but it definitely.
120 Alpha Marseille, bonsoir identified. Clear A Black 7 Romeo.
Oh, the real. Oh, okay.
France 170, report ready for descent.
La France 170, 14 for descent,
Oliver, well, I mean, not lately, no. So at the beginning, obviously, I was definitely promoting the FS Labs quite heavily, but I was completely convinced that it's a great add-on. So that's why I had no issues promoting the FS Labs.
Repeat again. Advance 170. Advance 170, report ready for descent. At your top of descent. Advance 170.
Marcus, you can always tell our real pilots we want to. Okay, well, yeah, appreciate that feedback, Mark. Yeah, but I remember that you have people come in here and then they will ask you, "Are you a real world pilot?" Because that's why we have this this command as well, right?
Marseille radar vehicle leaving with 48 at 360 inbound boarding.
Cool. I was going to have a look at the ATIS. Let's see if we've got ATIS now.
3504 with 48.
Yeah, that should be online. I have a feeling. Oh no, there we go. Now it's working. So, information Delta. Landing 4 left. So as expected. Wind 120 at 3. Oh. That could be interesting. Scattered 1600 and broken 2200. Alright, but they're RMP Zulu. What on earth is that? Okay. Yeah, it is straight in. Yeah, I guess because of the ceiling. Yeah, so they're using straight in. They're not using ILS. They are using RMP approaches, which is fine. So that's interesting. Something which you don't have often, but with that minimum. Is the ATC loud enough for you guys? Can you hear the controller alright? Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, so we'll enter the data here. So 17 degrees. Thank you much, MCK. 171017 and the wind 120 at 3. So crosswind from the right, and so we are flying the RNP Zulu. So I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to take, where is it?
Chennai Eastern 710, no further ATC available, Unicom 122, decimal 8, bye-bye. Unicom 22, decimal 8, 10 anchor 710,
that's 4 right.
Bye-bye. Now Air France 170, it was not for you. Oh, sorry.
So, the important thing to understand with this approach, it gives you an LPV Cat 1 minimum, and it gives you an LNAV VNAV minimum. Now, the A320 usually is not certified to fly LPV. So it doesn't have all the systems to tune and to identify the EGNOS satellite system. So we don't have any indication here. And so that's why we can't fly it with the LNAV VNAV minimum. Sorry, the LPV minimum. We can fly it.
Air France 65 Juliet X-ray. Wonderful. Climb level 260. Clear PNet 70.
So we can fly it with the LNAV VNAV
Climb
minimum.
260 and clear PNet 70 arrival Air France 65 Juliet.
Nice, yeah.
And Air France 170, just for your information, I will call you back.
Mark, for the flight sim world, for example, it's the Challenger 650. So mostly it will be private jets. So they have very good new systems. Thank you, Oliver, for feedback.
We are heading to...
So if you see that in an A320 and usually the 737, although there are some 737s now that can do tunings, but usually you will have that minimum. So for me it will be 640 today.
Yeah, France 170, yeah, that's why I said I will call you back in
And the conflict full approach. Profile is
from your position
3 degrees down.
200 nautical miles from your destination, so it will be okay.
So we'll go to Mike Uniform Sierra. Willing 711, request descent.
Willing 711, descent level 250.
Descent level 250, ruling 711. Right, descent altitude 250, down we go. Oist, I have a fixed date for the 9th of October. I doubt it will happen any earlier because they don't have any capacity right now. So, runway is dry, landing rate. So I just kind of accepted the fact that I've got to be patient. So 64 tons, just below max landing weight again. Blimey, heavy. We'll do flat full, auto brake low, auto thrust off, and runway 4 left. So there we go.
1124, contact Milano 119.750, bye-bye.
So here we got landing distance available, and so what I've done here is give you a distance to the exits. So 4 left, Echo Golf, Golf 1, these are the exits we want to aim for. They are between 1740 and 1970. So that's ideal for auto. Hey, thanks for the raid. Oh jeez, that's loud. Thanks for the raid. I hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good stream.
Marseille Control, please repeat again for UK Transport.
Yeah, so it's about money. It's about costs. Photocry. So you have to not only certify the aircraft, you also have to certify the flight crews. So there is money involved in this, and hence.
Very good evening, Air France 6.
Yeah, if there's no real need,
with information Charlie on board.
So if that minimum is good enough, then you will have those in place. The LPV Cat 1 minimum, look at that, 240, 380, 250, and Delta 390 height. So these go down fairly low. Right, so I'm just going to check the routing real quick.
62 Victor Charlie, no further ATC available. Unicom 122 decimal, bye bye.
Just for like 62 Victor Charlie, I think. Control, hello.
So let's check. Ablak 200 below. Correct. Then we got Abili. The next one is Amphu below 160. Correct. And then we have a waypoint with a speed restriction. So Tipic below level 120 and below 250 knots. So that's all correctly programmed. And we have Mike Uniform Sierra above level 80. Correct. Good. So from there, we get a...
Waiting 711, contact Marseille Control, 119.750, bye-bye.
119.750, merci, au revoir. Willing 711.
Control UK Transport 1124 with you at flight level 370 inbound Ireland.
UK Transport, you are on the bank frequency, contact Milano 127.450.
127 decimal, can you please repeat?
That's Marseille.
127.450.
Beautiful. Look at that.
127.450, thank you.
Boss, yes.
Top 246 Romeo. 246 Romeo, go ahead. Top 246 Romeo, any chance like LEMG? Any chance what?
Direct Lempu Lima Echo Mike Papa uniform.
Yeah, enable. There is a lot of traffic. There is hold at your position. There is another hold back, all the way back in the approach. So.
Holding that star.
Solution 686 for request further descent.
Hold time. Oh, we don't have that much fuel.
Continue descent, flight level 200.
No.
Continue descent, flight level 200, solution 686 Foxtrot.
Marseille bonsoir, Willing 711, level 250.
Willing 711, Marseille Control, bonsoir, descent, flight level 230, hold over Anso as published.
Okay, descent level 230 and we'll hold Amfu as published. Willing 711.
0256, contact Nick.
Right, murder speed out blue 230, Amfu.
Thanks, you know. AD 96 Hotel Yankee, descent, flight level 170.
Right, so I have become.
Behind 5 Charlie Golf, decent flight level 2.
Yeah, and MCK has a good suggestions, so we're going to start slowing down the speed here.
5 Charlie Golf, take it, please.
Oh, that's Riva.
Flight level 210.
Flight level 210, 5 Charlie Golf.
Yeah, Riva, you hear it's very distinctive voice there. So, let's go.
Alpine 56 Juliet uniform, cancel the roads down left heading 200.
At black. So, Amfu has inbound 133 right turns. So, programming a hold. Amfu hold 133 right turns. Insert. There it is.
Ryanair 52 Kilo Papa Marseille Control, bonsoir. What's your position?
I have to still change it. I don't have the approach yet. Hang on.
Kilo Papa question identified. Continue climb flight level 240.
Yeah, I have to change that. So Zulu 4 left. There it is. Again via Mike Uniform Sierra insert.
Ryanair 3.
And the minimum was 640.
Alpine 56 Juliet uniform. Decent flight level 140.
Flight level 140,
ED 96 Hotel Yankee, cancel the hold, turn right heading 240.
Heading 240, cancel the hold, ED 96 Hotel Yankee.
And ED 96 Hotel Yankee, reduce speed 220 knots.
220 knots, ED 96 Hotel Yankee.
Alpine 48 Romeo Golf, decent flight level 280.
I would always, MCK, I would always refer or contact ATC with regards.
Fox request further descent. We have planned for the R now for runway 16.
I know what you mean. The problem is,
Crosshair.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah, Crosshair 358, decent flight level 170.
We had a hold over Germany because of lots of thunderstorm activity.
Solution 686 Foxtrot cleared the Ligure 50
just past the border.
So Ligure 5 shed arrival for runway 16. Solution 6 Fox request further descent as well.
So we were holding southern Germany.
166 Fox.
And I don't know how many minutes we were holding, but we had 100 knot wind up here. And because of that long holding pattern time, we actually left the airspace of the controller. So he was getting upset because we were using standard holding. at that flight level.
Getting 711, speed 240 knots, descent flight level 220.
Yeah, speed is 225, so 240 knots and descending 220, Wuling 711.
Getting 711, correction, speed 220.
Yeah, that's fine, speed 220 knots, Wuling 711. Okay, there we go. So I would always ask the controller about the leg time. And it doesn't matter what flight level I get holding, I always ask, you know, is 1.5 minute okay for you?
Marseille Centre de Foxtrot Charlie Sierra Novembre. Je suis toujours en hold.
So 220, still very speed up, Lou.
Si c'est possible de changer de situation.
No. You see, that's what's happening. So you have the locals
Bien reçu, merci.
talking in French, right? Trying to make deals with the controller. No. Forget it. I know the games you're playing.
Correction, Alpine 56 Juliet uniform contact, this approach 134.475.
Yeah. Right, guys, so let's get back to business. So, let's figure out how much holding time we have available. So we have at least 50 track miles from the holding. Maybe even a tad more. So that relates 10 kilogram per mile.
One descent now, flight level 200 now.
Descent level 200, Wuling 711.
Ryanair 120
So
Alpha,
200.
descent flight level 200.
So our minimum fuel required at the missed approach point is 2.1. Right, that's what we need at the missed approach point. So if we add our 600 kilograms, which we need from the holding pattern to do the approach.
124650, data in your Charlie Oscar Mike, bye bye, au revoir.
Right, so from here, and assuming we have a direct in, so 2.7.
And Alpine 48 Romeo Golf 3 cycle scope 5636.
2.7 is the latest we have to leave the holding pattern.
Escort 5636, Beeline 5 Charlie Golf.
So we don't have much fuel.
That wasn't for you. Alpine 48 Romeo Golf.
So we have like only 400 kilograms of fuel, i.e. 10 in the Phoenix, maybe 15 minutes.
Romeo Golf, Marseille control. 48 Romeo Golf 3 cycle scope 5636.
So I fear that a diversion is somewhat likely. Let's check the weather from Marseille.
Subswiss 46 Romeo, decent flight level 180.
13 left, take 13. Oh, that's even longer.
Crosshair 358, contact Nice approach 124.175.
The weather is good, so there's no threats.
Beeline 5 Charlie Golf, cancel the road down, right heading 220.
You feel a medical coming in now?
Beeline 5 Charlie Golf.
Alpine 48 Romeo Golf, turn left heading 160.
8 hours. Shoff, well, yeah.
Marseille control for low fuel request a new plan for Milan.
So, for example, departure runway, you know, you're getting to the departure point. So yeah, sometimes you have a co-pilot which speaks, you know, Spanish or French, Italian, so they will hear what they are talking about. And it does happen from time to time that you have local speaking pilots trying to make a deal somewhere. Yeah, sneaky. Right, let's see. Do we have...
Turkish 18 Romeo
That's
Golf,
below.
contact east approach 124,
It doesn't look as if we have many people below us. So I'm still optimistic
124,
that we will be
18 on my right.
in the approach
Alpine
soon.
18 Romeo Golf, B220 knots, direct Mike Uniform Sierra.
Let's have a look here for the charts. Transition level.
Negative 124175.
Transition level is
124175.
So our decision height is 620. And descent is 640. 20. Cool. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
So currently in the holding, expecting a radar vectored RMP approach 4 left, RMP Zulu. We checked all of the waypoints. Minimum is Barrow 640. And the missed approach will go Magnum number 612 right 614 max 200 knots, and then proceed to near us, climbing 3000 to join the holding at near us. There's Marseille there. Descent level 160, Bulling 711. Well, actually, let's do vertical speed here. We're in the holding. So speed, vertical speed out blue 160. I don't expect.
475.
Yeah, we have our standards exactly. So we've currently got 3.2. So still about 10-15 minutes holding. Good. Sector is 12.5 to the north and 3.1 to the south. So safer side to south. And
Niveau 190,
oh, that's
Sierra
loud.
Novembre.
Jesus.
582 Delta requesting higher if possible.
Yeah, we'll vacate the runway. Echo Golf or Golf 1. Auto brake is low. And we'll do that approach fully managed with approach mode, flight directors, a config full, auto brake is low. Left turn off of the runway. No hotspots taxing in. Specials, RMP approach. We need the accuracy later on, 0.3 in the final approach part. And we need to check the QNH with the tower controller. Very important. Apart from that, threats. Well, birds maybe around the seaside. Lots of traffic. But otherwise. Any questions?
No questions.
Alrighty. No threats, French-speaking pilots, yeah.
Correction, Ryder 120 Alpha, descent flight level 200.
Tavos, you're saying you have a flashback trying to get home last week. Flight was delayed, then we held for 30 minutes. Because, oh, ATC was short of staff, really? Well, that is a bit strange, isn't it? Where you're already in the air.
Descent level 2 and say gain the hold. A hold over arm gear is published. Hold arm gear is published, like 7013.
Wow.
And ground flight level 140, direct Mike Uniform 0.
Locked.
Alpine 48 Romeo, approach 134475. Yes. Alpine 48 Romeo, Golf, contact the approach 134475.
4 aircraft in front. Yeah.
Landing on the below, well, Mike with you. Standby, break, behind 5 Charlie Golf, left, direct Mike Uniform 0.
Well, we are in the holding. I'm going to put on the landing lights.
Behind 5 Charlie Golf, left, direct Mike Uniform 0.
Right, Mike, Uniform Sierra, behind 5 Charlie Golf.
Reading Dynamo Charlie Mike, Marseille Control, bonsoir.
Yeah, he's doing very well, yeah.
10 arrival, flight level 100.
I'm kind of shocked to see that much traffic. I've been becoming complacent because we've been to a number of events lately and we rarely had holding.
24650, Italia 301.
80663, continue present heading.
Yes, so
7.450.
it's called FS2
Contacting 127450, Itaro 66, thank you, bye.
And Itaro 663, confirm be present heading to.
Maintain present heading, Itaro 66.
Thank you.
Right, 3.16.
Ryanair 120 Alpha descent flight level 180. Line 5 Charlie Golf descent flight level 140.
Descent flight level 140, B-line 5 Charlie Golf.
Aha!
Priority we are running out of.
Yeah. No, divert. Divert to your alternate. What's that mean, pan, running out of fuel? That's why you have an alternate airport where you go to. Have I tried FSFO? Yeah, so you mean for the fly-by-wire mod? Yeah, I have. That's
Solution 686 Foxtrot, 6 mile final, RMP 16.
686 Foxtrot, wind, call runway 16 left.
Land 16, 686 Foxtrot.
Kitaro 225, descent flight level 150.
Oh god. Guys, I'm just seeing there's a lot of aircraft east of the airport in a holding.
Marseille Control, good day, Easy 1325, flight level 230.
Alrighty. Guys, secondary copy.
170, top 40
Easy 1325, Marseille Control, bonsoir, descent flight level 220.
Descend flight level 220, Easy 1325.
Easy 78 airport level 340, higher.
Easy 78 Foxtrot Romeo, contact Marseille 126, correction 124650.
124650, easy.
Yeah, so it's just preparing the flight to the alternate.
Wheeling 711, cancel the hold. Direct Mike Uniform Sierra, descent flight level 140. Correct, 50.
Descent level 150, direct Mike Uniform Sierra, Wheeling 711. Right, let's go hold heading first of all.
Direct 120 Alpha, descent flight level 170.
Right, there we go. So we got rudder speed up blue 150, direct Mike Uniform Sierra. Yeah. Hey, I'm a real web pilot. Pan. I want priority. Line. Yeah, MCK. Normally I would. Yeah. So if that means
Ryanair 381, could we possibly get right flight level 140 if that's possible?
Okay, so
Ryanair 381, hold correction. You can monitor Unicom.
Right, we have now about 300 kilograms extra fuel.
Unicom, bye-bye.
So in case of missed approach, we can't go.
Getting 91 Charlie, my contact approach 11050.
Just think about committing myself to Nice.
46 Romeo, I can't give you priority for the moment. There is too much traffic on low fuel.
That's it. That is the right answer.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel Experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Last call was for EZ1325.
Mark, thank you for gifting us a sub to Danny as well, Mark. 318 gifted subs.
Hold that MGO
Thank you
as
so
published.
much.
Confirm. EZ1325.
Correct.
Wilco.
Any questions?
Swiss 2473 at flight level 170.
Swiss 2473, Marseille control bonsoir.
Yeah, exactly, Dijon. I would say the same. I would divert to Marseille.
Swiss 2473, continue climb to flight level 240.
Kitaro 346 on frequency. Kitaro 346 Marseille.
Yeah, MCK. Serves them right. If you do that, serves them right. Alright, let's get these seatbelts on. These are on. Ooh, that's right. Oh, that's better.
Marcel Control, EZ1606 with you at flight level.
No,
one,
I'm just looking at the weather.
EZ1606 Marseille control bonsoir. Clear to Boulevard 7 Romeo right.
Yeah, still information echo.
Clear to you are 7 Romeo arrival, EZ1606.
Gitaro 346 contact Milano control
So,
127.45.
if we have to do even more holding, then I think we'll go to Marseille. If we get into the approach now,
Gitaro 225.
although we're still way too high.
I will ask you that. Stand by.
Stand by, Gitaro 225. Yeah.
I have a feeling what's going to happen is we're going to go outbound, go to the east of the airport, and then we sequence with radar vectors. So we're going to have to make a decision.
And top is 46.
We have to make a decision now, really.
So either you continue into the hold, or you can divert to another airport.
Yeah, well done.
I can propose to you Ajaccio, which have ATCs right now.
Yeah, I'm starting to think.
Our actual fuel situation, we are unable to divert to another airport.
What?
Next one.
What a joker! What a joker!
Gitaro 5 to this Victor. Cancel the hold direct in Neraz.
He didn't give us holding yet.
Cancel the hold direct Neraz. Gitaro 5 to this Victor.
Overhead Mike Uniform Sierra, Vueling 711.
711, hold over Mike Uniform Sierra as published.
Okay, we'll hold as published, Mike Uniform Sierra. Right, so that's going to be
711, contact the approach 134475.
34475, Vueling 711.
Top 646 from you, you can descend flight level 150 now.
Right, let me get the chart out for that. Oh, it's left turns. Oh, blimey. Needs approach, good evening from Vueling 711 is entering the Mike Uniform Sierra holding level 150.
Vueling 711, Roger, so hold that Mike Uniform Sierra is published, this is flight level 100.
Okay, descent level 100 in the Mike Uniform Sierra holding Vueling 711. Right. Okay, guys. I am in between a rock and a hard place. Because I would love to do the approach. I would love to do the approach into Marseille. I really would. I took the... But that would mean a commitment. Now we have about 45 minutes. 45 minutes until final reserve fuel. Lol, Mark, yeah. I know, right? Okay. Guys, I'm going to divert, alright? I'm going to divert to Marseille because in real life, I would do the same. I can't commit to an airport. Yeah, Danny, normally you would get an EAT, but an approach from Vueling 711 request.
Go ahead.
Can you see if we have more than 10 minutes holding over McKinney from Sierra?
Yes, I guess approximately 15 or 20 minutes for you.
Okay, so in this case, unable, we have to divert to Marseille, please.
Roger, stand by.
Marseille, bonsoir. Software 46 Romeo, flight level 150, about 15 minutes of fuel remaining.
Wow.
06 Romeo, contact approach 124 decimal 175.
124, 175.
Alright, let's get the charts out. Arrival. So we should be going towards Lanco.
I know what's the Alpha, I know all that Mike uniform Sierra published.
Yeah, Lanco.
Alpine 48 Romeo Golf, descend altitude 5000 feet, QNH 1017.
Oh yeah, Avenger, yeah, absolutely.
Alpine 48 Romeo Golf, contact final 128 decimal 2, call sign only.
I'm going to start preparing for the approach into Marseille. It's going to be the ILS Zulu 13 left, most likely, and then the Lanco 1 Golf. And it's going to be approach via...
I know what's the Alpha, this is flight level 120. Milan 5, Charlie Golf, descend flight level 70 and leave Mike Uniform Sierra heading 110, speed to 20.
Beeline 5, Charlie Golf, descend flight level 70, leave Mike Uniform Sierra heading 110, speed 220 now.
Oh god, so it's via Gemco. It's a very long routing, even that. So approach via Gemco.
Oscar 108, contact approach 124, decimal 175.
Yeah, we need to get going. It even does make sense that we're sending level 100. Right, so select heading track first, which is correct. Oh, it killed the holding. Oh, that's... It shouldn't do that. And Vueling 711. I know you're very busy. Is there any chance direct Lanco?
Vueling 711, Marseille is a little bit busy right now. I'm just talking with him for UK.
Thank you. He's busy? There's not many aircraft at Marseille. I checked. Lol. I guess he means Marseille sector. And not so much... Marseille, Right, I'm gonna have to fly this with heading for now because it deleted my holding
Beeline
pattern.
5 Charlie Golf, confirm fly heading 110.
That's heading 110, Beeline 5 Charlie Golf.
Beeline 5 Charlie Golf, contact final approach 128.2 standardly.
Well, Danny, the next.
Only Beeline 5 Charlie Golf, merci.
So the next step is to look at your remaining fuel, and if you can see that your remaining fuel for the landing at your alternate starts to get below 45 minutes, you're going to call in with low fuel. And if you can see that your estimated fuel on board for landing at the alternate gets below 30 minutes remaining flight time, then it's a mayday. No, so Genoa, the problem with Genoa is it's all the way past Nice. So if I go... Genoa is Lima, India... Is it Mike Juliet? Yeah, it's Mike Juliet, isn't it? So that's 100 miles. That's 100 miles. And Marseille is only 60 miles.
China 120 Alpha, descent flight level 110.
Descent level 110, runway 120.
Yeah, so from the holding, if we get direct...
711, direct Lanco.
Merci beaucoup, direct Lanco, Vueling 711. Right, there we go. So...
Vueling 711, contact Marseille 119, decimal 750.
119750, thanks for the help, Vueling 711. Right, I need to check the minimum altitudes for the routing. Marseille again, Vueling 711, turning towards Lanco.
Vueling 711, Marseille Control, rebonsoir, cleared Lanco 1 Golf, arrival, runway 13 left.
Clear to Lamco, 1 Golf, 13 left, Vueling 711, thank you. So that's what we have inserted for the arrival. So Lanco 1 Golf. And just going to check that we are safe here at this altitude. Well, 10.7 would be grid.
13445, confirm.
475.
475, thank you. Can I do nothing?
Easy 63 Yankee, 33 knots. 33 knots, easy 63 Yankee.
What was the layover you were using at the start of the stream or flight info?
1606, maintain flight level 180, please.
180. Confirm.
Oh, you mean this?
175 right now.
Yeah, that's Sim Toolkit
yeah,
Pro.
180.
I think that's what you mean, right?
Climb 180. Easy 1606.
Easy 1325. We have to disconnect. Sim problem.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I think that's what you meant. So arrival.
Declare 219, Mike, please, and flight level 160.
Down to level 160, Lux to 21 on Mike.
Danny, there's no need to go and look for any other airports around. I mean, we still have the fuel.
2473, requesting clearance to descend.
2473, monitoring the command 228,
So, you know, it's perfectly fine. All good.
2473, monitor Unicom 122.8, thank you, and bye-bye.
But we had to make a decision to not get into a corner where we can't do anything anymore. So, quick look again at the alternate.
Vueling 711, contact Marseille Control 124, that's 1650.
124, 650, Vueling 711. Bye-bye.
ED 160, descent flight level 170.
Descent 170, ED 1606.
Marseille, bonsoir, Vueling 711, level 100.
So 270 and inbound to Bevar.
75 for Tango. Marseille, bonsoir, identified. Clear Bevar 7 Romeo available, descent level 250.
Bevar 7 Romeo arrival and descent final 250, Lufthansa 5 for Tango.
Jet 1 Yankee Whiskey, no further ATC available, Unicom 122 decimated, bye-bye.
Right, just getting the charts ready for Marseille.
Jet 1 Yankee Whiskey, thanks for the service, have a nice evening, goodbye. Bearing 3, Mike Romeo, ATC transition clearance, Zulu runway 13 left, report established.
Right, I'm gonna go speed to 50.
Runway 13 left, port established, 3 left, 2 miles left.
Nothing. HLS 240. Draguette Marseille, bonsoir, identifié, montez niveau 320. Niveau 320, French Draguette, ça passe.
Marseille, bonsoir, Vueling 711 is diverting inbound to Lamco.
Vueling 711, Marseille, bonsoir, identified.
Okay, so it's going to be Lamco and then to Gemco. From there we have the transition.
Any remaining glasses, bottles, as well as packaging. Of course, you may also give us newspapers and magazines you wish to dispose. In preparation for landing, please stow your hand luggage in your compartment on the seat in front of you.
And from there we'd expect the transition, Gemco, VACOP, then to Airlax, Adiva, 5000 at Olibo,
with you, passing flight level 225, flight level 3.
Mike Lima 402, and then on to the ILS. So Zebra, final fix.
Squawk 1000, Eurowings 3.
So that's all programmed. So for the ILS approach, that's the initial. Where's my ILS chart? Check here. 13 left. ILS. So the minimum for the approach is gonna be straight in. We can do the climb gradient 2.7%, that's fine. So 220, sorry, 220 is the minimum. And yeah, so I would have informed the purser by now.
711 Victor for the LS runway 13 left, turn right heading 280 degrees, descent altitude, descent level 70.
Thank you much. Right heading 280 degrees, descending 70, Vueling 711. Okay, we can do that. So heading, vertical speed, AltBlue 70. Yeah, I would have told the purser in the holding already. I would have made an announcement in the holding to the passengers. And then, of course, you know, I have a first officer in real life that I can dump a lot of workload on. So for example, I could give him all of the programming work. So while he's programming the FMS, I would do the announcement to the passengers, tell them that we have indefinite delay into Nice, and that we have to divert to Marseille. I try to avoid saying fuel. So it's saying indefinite delay, which makes it more sensible to divert right now, to refuel, and then you know, decide on maybe another flight to Nice later on. Yeah, these are all things that would have been, you know, going on. So we've got 220. 200. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
All right, so we're flying to Marseille now. Radar vector at ILS 13 left. We looked at the approach, so we fly out of 4,000, 12.5, and then we descend 3-degree profile, normal profile, 13 left, missed approach, straight ahead, and in 2,000 turn right, but not before 5 miles, Mike Lima, max 185 knots, follow radial 197, Mike Romeo Mike, towards Lipso, climbing 4,000 feet. Make sure that's correctly programmed here. Lipso 4,000, correct.
Française 83, Marseille, bonsoir, identifié, montée niveau 290, direct Moule.
Yeah, so for the passengers, in this case, I would assume the station would arrange a transfer by bus, for example, for the passengers. The crew, if we have a duty time restriction, then very likely you would go into a hotel there and not transfer.
Eurowings 381, request out of cockpit for 5 to 10 minutes.
Good night, Black Box.
MCK, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. So just have to modify the weather situation in the FMS. So it's 16, QNH 1017, and variable 2. So I was put 000 variable 2. Minimum is set 60 trans.
Boarding 711 free speed.
Free speed, thank you, Boeing 711. Yeah, I'm going to stay with 250 knots because flying faster will increase the fuel burn by quite a lot. So right now, if you want to have a good estimate for the remaining track miles, I recommend sequencing the flight plan a bit. So now the FMS will have a good estimate. So at 70 track miles, so for me that's about 700 kilograms. So we are expected to land with a remaining fuel. Yeah, still above final reserve fuel, but getting below the 45 minutes. Hey Marvin. No, Marvin. I was a bit surprised at start. So today I read that that Nice is having a controller check. So ATC VATSIM, he's doing his check for the S3 rating. Normally, these events don't really cause much commotion, so there isn't really much going on. But I assume that I know that Riva, for example, who's also a very known streamer on YouTube, has a big community as well. So I think since he's flying to Nice, I think a lot of his followers are flying along, causing a lot of traffic. So yeah, he had 53 arrivals. The controller did an amazing job, so they all did really, really well. It's just that I didn't expect that much traffic, and I took 20 minutes extra, which normally is fine, but we had to fly holding at Anfu on the arrival, and then we got out of the holding and was sent into the next holding at Mike Uniform Sierra. No, so normally 45 minutes below is going to be just low fuel. So it's a controller Vueling 711, low fuel. It's not a pan. It's not a mayday. If you get below 30 minutes remaining at touchdown, so normally 1.2 tons, then that is mayday fuel. Oh, is that a big event as well? Okay, didn't see that. I only saw the controller doing a check today. Right, there's one aircraft arriving. I was also thinking about requesting maybe 3-1 right to shorten the distance. And looking at the wind, it probably would have been a good idea, actually. But, you know, further down you don't know what the wind does, so... Yeah, Limonada, we're on a diversion, yeah. So one more thing to do as well, don't forget, is to do the calculations for the landing distance. So 62.9. So we have a bit less. 62.9. Auto brake low. Auto thrust off. Idle reverse. Flap full. And runway 13 left. Yeah, so again, about 2,000 meters, plenty. We have 3,160 meters available. We'll vacate to the left after landing. Delta 6. So yeah, so auto brake low is still good. Any questions?
No questions.
Right, gonna wait until we get a altitude. Already have Mike Lima ILS identified. Right, there's the airport. Yeah, I'm surprised as well that the FO is still with us.
711, right heading 310.
Right, heading 310, building 711. Yeah, guys, so, I mean, guys, if you have the situation, like me, that you come to an airport and suddenly there's a lot of traffic because there's an event, you missed that, you didn't take enough fuel, two options. One, cheat, refuel the aircraft in the air, or two, divert. But please, 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 please do not go and beg with ATC to get priority. And the controller did a absolutely fantastic job. He did not give that person priority. He said you could divert. I hope so, Danny. Normally I have the scenery installed, so I should be good with the option 3, disconnect. Thank you, Voyager. You're correct. You are correct. Yeah. Option 3 would be to disconnect.
711, descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Descending 5,000, QNH 1017, building 711. Set QNH. Approach checklist.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1017.
1017 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
Barrow 220 feet. Set and checked.
Auto brake.
Low. Low set. Yeah, set and checked.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Thank you.
3 Mike Romeo vacating Delta.
Yeah, that is always highlighted because, you know, in the dark cockpit you're supposed to see that to have an emergency cancel.
3 Mike Romeo, taxi Taxi, gate, Manor Charlie via Charlie, then Golf.
And you come, is the CRM fully organized in this situation, or Captain? Well, I mean,
Charlie and Golf.
there's SOPs, and then of course the Captain orchestrates everything. The reason why they don't give you a kind of rigid construction for these diversions is because every diversion is different. So there's certain things you have to go through, like
speed 180 on it.
speed 180, Wuling 711.
Eurowings,
So
381
you know,
back in
changing the MCDU, checking the landing distance,
Closing in. 2 minutes.
and then you try to do a briefing again. So there, these things, flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Hey, Reva, thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, I heard you were on the approach. GG, you're a lot clever than I was. I didn't take enough fuel. I only had like 800 kilograms. I didn't realize.
Boarding 711, then right heading 100, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
Right heading 100, descent 4,000, Wuling 711. Happy diverting, thanks. Reva, question to you. When was your last real-world diversion? Because I do get asked sometimes, you know, how often do we divert? Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Yes, a big shout out to Reva. I'm sure you all know who he is.
711, clear, let's approach runway 13 left.
Cleared approach 13 left. Wuling 711. Right, we're going to go final fix. And 312. Cleared the approach. So we have Class Blue, Lock Blue, Cat 3 Dual, or Pilot 1+2, 4000 Alt Blue. Yeah, Reva, I would say the same. So for me, for the last 15 years, I had like 4 diversions, I think. So it doesn't happen often. And the problem is, if you don't divert often,
228, Eurowings 381, goodbye.
Yeah, you can get rusty with these preparations. So here in the sim, it's actually good practice. Rockstar. So yeah, we'll descend out of 4,000 at 12.5. Mike Lima. Looking good. And missed approach 4,000 as well. Flight IMT says is a passenger in 30 years, 700 more flights. First diversion a month ago due to weather in San Francisco. Light slope start. Yep, it can happen, right? Yeah, Reva, thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, all the best. Happy landings. That's good.
That's right.
Hey Moritz, well done. Your judgment then on the fuel was excellent, yeah.
711 with this calm, runway 13 left, clear to land.
13 left, dead land, Wuling 711, merci. Good. So 2.2 tons of fuel. Now in the real aircraft, obviously the fuel flow would be a bit higher. Hence you would...
Running 711 and I'm closing Unicom 122.8. It's been a long evening. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, merci beaucoup. You did awesome
Welcome
job.
aboard
Thank you so
the
much for the
Captain
service
Black
and
Box
have a great
Twitch channel
weekend.
subscriber
Reading 711.
experience.
Bye bye.
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin? where
Christian,
complimentary drinks,
thank you so
snacks,
much.
and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Christian, Dankeschön für die 23.
Guten Abend in Deutsch, Peter Runder. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Christian. Thanks for the support. I hope you're doing well. Gear down.
2,500. Radar altimeter alive. Gear down.
So I'm a bit more
Cabin crew
conservative
seated
now.
for landing.
So just to make sure I don't mess up the approach, I don't want to get to really sweaty hands and get into a low fuel situation here. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps 4.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
Yeah, so we can see remaining flight time with that fuel is about, in the real aircraft, it would be about 45 to 50 minutes. Here it's more like an hour. So even though we diverted, we made an early decision, and so it's not as if this is critical at the moment. But the idea is to, you know, to keep a clear plan in your head and check the fuel and estimate, you know, have your gates, at which point do I need which fuel, and then if you see that, you know, you're gonna have to make a decision to stay at your destination airport, let's say. So it's like a just reading chat here, it's busy. Right, sorry. Yeah, you know, to make a decision to stay at, let's say we made a decision to stay at Nice, then we don't have any other options. And with that much traffic around there, you know, with indefinite delay, checked, it just doesn't make sense to stay there.
1,000.
Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
There we go, landing flight. So the wind is actually interesting, 260 at 11. So if we'd done the other approach, we would have had quite a lot of tailwind with that 4-degree slope. That would not have been the best of ideas, really. Yeah, I know. I absolutely agree. So I get these questions as well. Like, okay, did you ever have any, you know, severe mechanical failures? And I'm like, no, luckily not. But I can tell you that my aviation life, my pilot life, wasn't boring. But normally, the hair-raising situations mostly arise from weather situations.
100 above. 100 above.
Yeah, runways in sight.
Minimums.
Continue. Look at that that optical illusion there between the two runways.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. A reverse green. Brake low.
Spoilers.
Diesel.
Reverse green diesel.
Oh lol, I've got an FO, yeah. Forgot. Manual brakes.
70 knots.
Oh nice, 170. Checked. Alright, there should be our taxiway coming into view. Yeah, Danny. Oh, don't remind me of that. The Ryanair training kicking in. Lol. Marseille traffic, Vueling 711, vacated runway, taxiing to the apron. welcome to Marseille. I've declared a pan because of severe icing with engine vibration over the Alps. Luckily, knock on wood, never declared Mayday. No. Hey Aaron, how you doing? Nice to see you. Your co-pilot sounds like Darth Vader, yeah.
Good night, Black Box.
Yeah, I need to get to bed as well. Good night, Aaron. Thank you much for flying along. Did you make it to Nice? Have a great weekend. Gate Charlie. No. Oh, that's the wrong gate. So gate, parking, gate. Let's go medium. Oh, there he is, okay. Or there she is, actually. It's a shame that the parking spots don't really coincide with the GSX positions. After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Good night,
Off.
Black
Half the
Box.
landing checklist completed.
Voyager, mach's gut. Auch dir ein schönes Wochenende. Thank you much, Freeball. Thank you. That is a weird parking spot, isn't it? Alright, APU bleeders on, shutting off engines.
You are currently parked at the wrong parking position.
GSX, like, seriously? You led me here. Like, how could I be the wrong...
Set.
Oh... LR Aviation, Long Range Aviation, I think it stands for. Thanks much. Thanks for the raid. Welcome. Oh, that worked. That's nice. Carlos, gute wie? Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Parking brake set. Set and checked.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Thank you. Lord Rooney, moin moin. Hope you're all doing well. Whoa, it's got some lights on. Why's that on there? Cool. So, welcome to Marseille, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I always kind of realize when I'm doing a diversion here on stream, the workload is immense. So, doing this single pilot with all that commotion going on in the background, and read chat and answer questions. Wow, that is a amazing amount of workload. Big thank you to everyone that watched today. Thanks for all of the fantastic questions. Also, thank you so much for the support again. Much appreciated. And like I said, I'm going to be flying in real life over the next couple of days, so your discomfort is our pleasure. Well said. Yeah, but we arrived at Marseille safely, so still have 2 tons of fuel in the tank, so all good. Yeah, everyone, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yeah, hopefully with beautiful weather. And if you like, I'll see you again on next Wednesday for another stream. Until then, as always, happy landing, stay well, see you soon.